rolling.
Look at you wipe that smirk off your face. Stuart's throwing me. Why are you cheesing like that, bro?
Oh man, I'm happy to see you.
Oh, good. Well, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Soccer Comic Rant. If you're listening, you cannot see Stuart Thompson's cheesy smile. That's throwing me off right now. But trust me, it's cheesy. I'm vegan. I can't take it. Welcome to the Soccer Comic Rant. My name is Ian Edwards, and this podcast, if you're listening, you can get it at iTunes, Art19. Used to be available on SoundCloud, but I don't think it's there anymore. Probably on Spotify, or you could watch it on YouTube at Ian Soccer Comic Rant Edwards, or just type in Ian Edwards and it should go to the page, and you could watch it there. Sponsors for the podcast is one sponsor, OnTheVolleyApparel.com. And if you go to OnTheVolleyApparel.com, you'll see hoodies, sweatshirts, tanks, tees for men and women with soccer hip-hop logos on the front of them. They have some dope gear there. And if you use my promo code ComicRant, you get 20% off. And let's get to the guest, Cheesy Stuart Thompson. That's
Hey,
it, right?
yes,
Why am I losing? I've been eating too many edibles during this whole.
Wise man.
Yeah, I know.
It's nice to see you, Ian. It's great to be back.
It's been a minute. It's been so long. You have like an afro.
Yeah, no, I'm growing out the wasp fro. I have yet to try to cut my own hair.
Oh, good. Don't do that.
I don't know if that's a wise move or a foolish move, but anyone who I've seen cuts their hair doesn't look good. Yeah,
exactly. Especially when you have an excuse not to cut it. It's not like people are gonna be like, "Where was he in the woods?" They escape. So it's just like, just leave it.
Yeah, we're all just chilling at home. We get it.
Yeah, I haven't trimmed my beard in solidarity, so it's all good. But Stuart's on the show. Hasn't had him on in a while. It's good to have Stuart on. He's a Chelsea fan. He's a stand-up comic, and he has an album coming out called Dandy Man, available everywhere this Friday. So check it out. And,
yes.
Thanks for coming on, Stu.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure, brother. And Sawyer's lawyer, my homie Neil Chakravarty.
Hey.
What up? Comic from San Diego, Chelsea fan. He's also on the podcast as a guest. And thank you, Aaron Brungardt, for putting this all together. What up? What up, Neil?
Good. How are you? I see like it's taken you just over a day and you have a different jersey on now.
Well, I've always been. No. I've always been a Real Madrid fan in the La Liga.
Is that Ronaldo? Is that the Ronaldo thing?
Yeah, it's partly the Ronaldo thing. I think I was a Real Madrid fan before he went there, but especially since he left Man U and went there, you got to have a La Liga team. And, so they just won the league.
They just won the league, yeah.
And this came in the mail, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And they've done it in a different way this time. Like I was just watching this thing, how great they've become defensively.
Yep.
And they won like all their games since the restart. I think they had one tie, but it was yesterday after they won the whole thing.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Real Madrid, man. And I hate seeing Barcelona win it every fucking season. Even though it's good to watch Barcelona football, I enjoy it. But it's a pain in the ass. So since both of you are Chelsea fans, Stu, you're still a Chelsea fan? Or
I still am. I do think about lately, last time I was in England, how bonkers, confused the comics that I spoke with were. When I told them that I was a fan of a different team than my dad was. And they were just like, they could not believe it. And just like, no, this is how it goes. Your father takes his self-pity and hatred that he developed from being a fan of whatever piss poor team fan he is, and he imparts it onto you, and you just struggle with that until you die.
Right. Well, it's a good thing you learned and you evolved from your father. What team was your father's team? Depends on what team your father's team was.
Well, my dad, I think, I think his he just loves watching the game. But growing up, his high school team wore Aston Villa colors because his coach was from Birmingham.
Mm.
But I think he typically, but he follows Man U pretty closely.
Oh, so I wouldn't be able to understand that either. If I was those comics in England and you told that, like, you went from greatness to okayness.
Yeah, there's no explaining it to them.
Why is Chelsea your team? What happened? When was the?
It was I think they were just good at a time when I had the attention span to watch Premier League soccer, and when we had like the cable accessibility, and it was during those like peak
when your parents
years.
had cable.
Yeah, I was like 12 or something like that, or maybe 10 or 11, and we finally got the better cable to watch Premier League games, and it was right during the Mourinho Chelsea years.
Mourinho Chelsea and what's the name of the Russian owner again? Abramovich came through and just changed Chelsea for life.
Yeah, so it was like there was no more Hasselbank kind of situation. It was a Drogba, Joe Cole. I think Ivanovic kind of situation. It was really
Anelka.
awesome. Yeah. So man. But I don't know. As someone who's played soccer, it's kind of hard to not get excited watching any game just to see how. Yeah, it's like if you played soccer, you should. I got to think you'll get something out of any game, especially in the top leagues, La Liga, Serie A, Premier League, Bundesliga. You'll be fine.
As much as I don't like Barcelona, I still enjoy watching them play. And then halfway through, I'm like, shit, I need them to lose. But the game is just the way they play is so beautiful. I'm just a fan of football, but
Yeah, it's like watching Messi play is like watching a painter in real life work on a piece. It's like, oh man, you just every dribble feels like brushstrokes.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see a painter paint in real life.
Yeah, no, it's like you definitely got to speed up the time lapse footage.
Like maybe it's like watching the best. I don't know how to put this, so I'm just gonna leave it alone before getting trouble.
Okay. Maybe one of those spray paint artists on the street.
Something artsy, but not painting.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, did you guys pay attention to the FA Cup? We're not even going to go Premier League. Let's deal with this FA Cup. Some of the top teams were in the FA Cup, and I think the FA Cup only matters now is because four of the top teams, in Premier League, just standard in history, are involved in it. Otherwise, I don't give a damn about the FA Cup, especially with the position that Man U are in the table and what is more important to us. So it was Man City versus Arsenal, and it was Chelsea versus Man U. And what are your thoughts on the game, especially because you text me, Neil, happy with the score?
I was going to actually say that, you still got something out of the day with Leicester losing.
I mean, I'm like we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that because the only thing I cared about in this game is save our players. Don't use them, and just like there's a few things. Like he played a formation that probably I'm the only one that wanted him to play because I've heard he did the 5 at the back, and I want him to do that because I didn't want him to play offensive players. I wanted him to save them for the 2 games that we have remaining in the league. So I was hoping he'd go defensive and just try to catch him on the break. And if we didn't win, fine. But a lot of people are shitting on Ollie for changing the lineup and for losing the game. It's like, this is not important. It's just the FA Cup, y'all. And it only means something right now because Chelsea and Man City and Arsenal are in there and we're in there. But we need to get in the Champions League. We need to save our players. So the only thing I'm upset about this game is not losing 3-1, is that we didn't save our players' legs as much as I wanted him to save them. He's still, like, Ollie was like, this game is not that important. And then when he started losing, it's like, shit, I'm going to try and win this game. He changed his mind. Like, stick to your brand, man. Stick to your brand.
I think the formation, right? Like I know a lot after the game, a lot of people shit on it, but
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to the talk before the game, and a lot of people are actually expecting it. I don't think it surprised any. Like it didn't surprise me
Right.
because you guys actually beat us twice with that formation.
Right.
I think he just, I mean, Lampard finally like figured out how to counter it. So, because he went three at the back himself. So,
I mean,
you know.
you counted it, but we didn't
But
use our best. Like, listen, all week people were talking about Man United form compared to Chelsea form, and like
yeah,
that, they were like, Man U is going to win this game, and I'm like, you guys are professionals. Like Man U, you can't call who's going to win this game until you see Man U's lineup.
yeah,
And that's the moment you know if they're going to win it or not. So I wouldn't have had any predictions all week and I was hoping it would be a lineup similar to what he used, even with less starters in it. But it is what it is. So it's like, and then another thing, a friend of mine, Lloyd, Aston Villa fan, was like, we beat Chelsea 3 times this year, right?
yeah.
The law of averages say you're not going to beat them a 4th time. So everybody's shitting on Ollie and talking about this is a terrible performance. And it's like, people are bugging, man. It's like, listen, he just went 18 games undefeated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That,
yeah, it's a big deal.
And most of those games were in the Premier League. And then, like, I saw an interview with Craig Burnley from ESPN, and he's like, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, look at the teams he's beat. He's talking about since the restart. And he's like, they're not good teams. They're not. So I don't know why. He's like, I don't know why they're praising this guy so much. They're not good teams, but it's the Premier League. If you go 18 games undefeated in a top league in Europe in all competitions, you don't brush that off. That doesn't happen. And it doesn't matter what teams, you know. He's looking at the teams that Ollie played since the restart, but he's not looking at the teams we played that didn't beat us before. Those were all quality teams. Like there was a stretch of games where like Ollie's going to get fired. He had Man City, he had Chelsea, he had Leicester, he had Wolves, Tottenham in there, and he had to get through that to get to this easy part. So it's like I don't understand what people are saying.
Yeah, I think people they want it all, and I think the bigger prize is getting that Champions League slot, and it's so close right now that it's you can't take any chances, and anything that is even minorly frivolous, and maybe in Solskjaer's list of priorities, maybe it just is edged out by the other stuff, which is that's fine, and if it means that they can get the Champions League spot, then it was all worth it.
Yeah, if we won an FA Cup and didn't get a Champions League spot,
you'd be pissed.
You'd be pissed.
Yeah, a lot of fans would be pissed.
Yeah. Van Gaal won an FA Cup and was fired. Like, don't go for the okie doke. That FA Cup final means nothing.
I think also what you're saying about resting players.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ole he did it was a kind of a well thought out gamble, where he went with the same team. I think he played the same lineup 5 games in a row.
Right.
Yeah.
In the league, because he knows that's more important, and then therefore he had to do a heavy rotation in the FA Cup.
Right.
So there's like various ways to do that, right? Like what Lampard's been doing, he's been doing a few rotation every game, so it doesn't feel that big a change in the 11 from game to game. But he's never playing the same 11 2 games in a row.
But you guys are inconsistent.
That's true.
I mean, it's been 11 games, 9 wins. It's it's been patchy in terms of performances, but he's still getting those wins in.
You've had some. You lost to West Ham. Probably shouldn't have lost to West Ham.
Yeah.
Nope.
And there's some other losses in there or draws.
No, just West Ham and Sheffield are the 2 games we've lost to the last 11. So.
And then what about draws?
No draws. We don't draw. This is a team that cannot draw, for the love of this is what I'm most worried about. If we go into the Wolves game, and I'll be more comfortable needing 3 points from that game than needing 1 point in that game.
If you go into what game?
The Wolves game on the last game of the season. If it somehow comes out that Chelsea just needs a point to win that game, I feel it's going to go haywire because this team does not know how to play for a point.
Yes, good. Perfect. Got you right where we want you. Yes.
Yeah.
And you.
Yeah. It's it's so crazy because I don't think I've seen. I don't know if the final, if it's gone down to the final game often enough for me to remember where it's like I feel this excited towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because of the build-up, because there was so much time off, but it's just to have it be like within a point or two is so it's not great as a fan, but as just someone who appreciates soccer, it's nice to see that everyone's going to be trying their best on the last day, especially for those like third, fourth, fifth through seventh spots.
I mean, it happens all the time. I'm just trying to look up how, like, Man United, since the season, like, we started Project Restart in 5th, right? This is how crazy this is. And we've won every game besides 2 since the restart. And we're still in 5th. We're technically still in 5th. But if you get those results at the bottom of the table, your life changed completely. You know what I mean? Like if you're at the bottom of the table before restart, even if you get 2 wins, you're out of the relegation zone. You're far into safety. So it's just up top. You got to be more consistent.
You had a big gap to make up.
Yeah, we did, and we made it up.
You made it up, yeah.
Yeah, we made it up, and that was just to play catch up. Now it's the duel to actually take over in these next 2 games, which are in a great position to do. Yeah,
and we've come to learn that you can't sleep on West Ham. So we'll see how how if they're still riding that high, going into the game against Man U, and Chelsea's not in a great position. Although with Liverpool's form, I'm wondering if they're just going to continue, kind of be on what feels like a terrible autopilot that they've been on. I can't blame them, but I'm wondering if they're going to continue that.
All right, well, let's finish the Arsenal. Talk about the Arsenal Man City game in the FA Cup, and then I want to get into that for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So did anybody check it out? It's a masterclass in like counterattacking, played by Arsenal against Man City.
Yeah, they knew how to. I don't know. It felt like they were working as a cohesive unit finally. Like Arteta has realized that I've never seen a team that's better off with 3 defenders in the back than 4.
Well, I've never seen a team that's better with 3 shitty defenders in the back than 4 shitty defenders in the back.
I mean, David Luiz, he turned up. Like he was playing like some of the best games he's played in his career.
Right. So now are you having David Luiz remorse?
Oh, absolutely not.
Because we know it's only going to happen once or twice a season. So
right. Well, they re-signed him, and then, the only positive I saw with them re-signing him was that I heard he's good with the younger players. But, we have to give David Luiz some credit. Like, I've shit on him on the show, like in wonderment, just because the mistakes are glaring. It's like if you're blind, you see these mistakes. But what he is good at is, it's almost like, and I don't wish. Is it Madison that plays for Man United? My own defender, I can't remember. Our captain,
Maguire.
Oh, Maguire. Like Maguire, the qualities I see with Maguire is like he can carry the ball out the back. And the thing with David Luiz is he's really good with the ball at his feet and just distributing it and carrying out the back. So I think that's why, and Arteta subscribes to that.
Did you just compare Harry Maguire to David Luiz?
Have you been watching Harry Maguire?
Yeah, I know, but I'm just surprised that you would put that in that many words.
Well, I just see the similarities in and Maguire was doing it during the World Cup. Like he was better when he got the ball in the back and just getting it out of the press, and dealing with the press. So he's good at dealing with presses and And, a lot of teams want to start playing from the back going forward. And David Luiz and Maguire are good for that. But, I would say David Luiz is better at distributing the ball, but he's also better at making mistakes in the back than Maguire is. Yeah. But like David Luiz, there is some good to him. You know what I mean?
I mean, the guy's won it all. Like
he's won it all.
He's won Premier League, he's won Liga, he's won Champions League, he's won Europa League. Like, he's been doing this for a while, and it's been tough for other centre-backs at different clubs to get rid of him because, to displace his starting position. And but, we all know it's an open book. We all know what can go wrong with David Luiz.
It is. David Luiz is that relative who would be addicted to a substance abuser. And he's going to have a good 6 months after he gets out of rehab. But one day you're going to get that phone call from him if you're a sponsor and say, hey, I just had a drink. And then you're going to go get him. You're going to have to talk to him. You're going to have to straighten him out. And then he's going to be good again. And then, so that's how he plays.
He's going to convince you that he's put it behind him. Everything is good to go. and then you take him to your work party, and you get fired the next day.
Yeah, because Arteta does invite him on a game-by-game basis back to the scene of the crime, back to where you can make those mistakes that you don't want him to make. And go ahead, go stand around at this party and don't drink, David. Go in this defense and don't make the mistakes that you make on a regular basis, David. Don't do it. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, it shows it shows the real insanity is on Arteta's part.
Yeah.
I mean, but Arteta, like he's a coach, man. Arsenal might not end up where their fans want them to end up, but the more thing they should be concerned about is, do we have a good coach that can take us forward? And when you watch the Emery's teams and the last Wenger teams, you could see there was an issue, even if you couldn't put a finger on it. And then you could see now, even with the same players, that the team has an identity, and they just need to get the right pieces to help them fill out that identity. So I believe in Arteta. Even in games that he's lost, I could see what he's trying to do. And that's very important for a team, and to be everybody to be on the same page, and therefore for there to be a plan.
They're cohesive against Man City. They knew, I don't know if they knew what they were doing, but they looked like they knew what they were doing. And if I was an Arsenal fan, and I'll be like, all right, I'll take it, and just come back tomorrow and do it over again.
Yeah, beating City 2-0 is good, and you got these like Thierry, I think he played in Scotland, and Arsenal bought him, and he had a great pass to Henry, for I think first or second goal. And it's like, if you have an Aubameyang, use your Aubameyang, and they Arsenal definitely use their Aubameyang. You got two Aubameyang goals, cool under pressure, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and they beat Man City, man, who have been beatable this year. It's not the toughest Man City team to beat.
Yeah, right. And credit to Emiliano Martinez, the goalkeeper who's been filling in.
Oh
my God, that guy!
He didn't have a whole lot of work to do, but over the last few games that he's been filling in for Leno, he has proven, like, he, however long he was sitting on that bench, he was ready.
Yeah.
This is.
He has game face on for, I heard he was on the bench for like 7-8 years at Arsenal.
He was on loan and stuff. Yeah.
Just mean mugging, just like, you put me in, I'm gonna fuck shit up in there. It's gonna be great.
This is what I don't understand. How come all these clubs have 2 goalkeepers better than ours? I don't get it. Like, I switch on the television and like every save is like an impossible save. Like, based on what Kepa's been doing this season. Like, how are these guys doing this?
I know, he's pretty. He went right into looking like a starting goalkeeper right away. He's like, I've been trying to tell you, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
start.
And he might stay there. Go Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, so I mean, watching, I as much as I don't like certain I don't know. I don't know if they're like arrogant moves that Kepa will make. Like he just he's acting like he wears a shirt size that's like 2 sizes bigger than his boy's medium that he wears. Like, but if they don't put him in and they put in Caballero, I'm just like, Jesus Christ! I'd rather have arrogant than stupid.
Yeah.
Like, well, Caballero just flails with reckless abandon.
Well, speaking of goalkeepers, it's like, what does Man U do with David De Gea? Since we're still on the FA Cup, it's like Romero got us to the FA Cup semifinal, and he should have played yesterday.
Yeah.
And based on De Gea's performance, like that Mount goal, like you just hope, like the goalkeeper has an 80% shot of saving that, and if you're David De Gea, because you're David De Gea, you have a 95% shot of saving that. And these 5% things are happening to him a lot, And then what other goal was he kind of at fault for? The other one, the Giroud goal.
But it was very close range.
Yeah, it's very close range. So I don't blame him for that, but that Mount goal, you just have to save that Mount goal.
Yeah, there have been a couple goals like that this season.
Yeah.
I think for you guys,
he blocked it and it goes right in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think for you guys, it's not that big a problem though. Like you are gonna have De Gea till the end of the season. It's just 2 games now, and maybe Europa League. But next season you technically do have Dean Henderson on your books, who's been doing great at Sheffield United. So.
Yeah. I mean, Sheffield United hasn't been doing that great. They got beat today. I think if you look at the Sheffield United scores, they get scored on too. You know what I mean?
I think they have the second best. I might be wrong. Till a few games ago at least, they had the second best defense in the league.
Let's see.
Let me just check. Yeah. They might have, because I know they conceded a lot to a few teams recently. Yeah, I mean they Liverpool 29, Man City 35, Sheffield 36.
Say that again.
Liverpool 29 goals, Man City and United 35 goals, and Sheffield 36 goals.
Yeah, so we're still better than them.
But for the longest time they were second. I think it's just the last few games where they've given up a lot of goals.
It's a full season, baby.
I know, but I'm saying
can't just count.
Yeah, but they don't have 80 million Harry Maguire. They don't have 50 million Van Bissaka in their defense.
Listen, that's not our problem.
But this guy is doing it, dude. You should be happy. This is your guy.
I'm not sure. I'm not sold, bro. You know, when you watch football all over, Courtois, right?
Yeah.
The way he played for Spurs the last few games, that's a goalkeeper. You don't care what.
Yeah.
Is it Lloris? That's Spurs goalkeeper. I keep getting Courtois. Yeah. And Oblak and Ter Stegen. Those are the goal. When you see those goalkeepers you're like, oh, that's what when I'm looking at Henderson, I don't see him in that. And I know De Gea had to grow into it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think we loan out Henderson for 1 more year, see what De Gea is going to do or what he's looking like, and then we can make a decision. Let's see.
But if your option is to anyways continue with De Gea, who's having a few issues, why not just have Henderson part of the squad too, give him the cup games, and then if De Gea continues making these mistakes, put Henderson back in. What's there to lose?
All right, could do that. I'll run that up the flagpole. I'll see what happens. I'll see what August says.
Because we faced a similar situation when Courtois came back from loan. He was obviously Courtois was performing at a slightly higher level because he had won La Liga. He was on loan 2 years at Atletico Madrid.
Right.
He had won La Liga, reached the final of the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he was very clear, even though he was 21, and he had Petr Cech, who's not making the kind of mistakes that De Gea is doing right now.
Exactly.
But he was very clear though that I'm only coming back from loan if you're gonna make me number one, because else I'm off.
But you had to start him because Czech was declining.
He wasn't actually. He didn't really decline at that point. He still had a fairly decent first 2 years at Arsenal.
But Czech, as soon as Czech got, just how you know Czech declined. As soon as he got injured, they put Leno in and they never looked back.
But that was just the last year, though. He was there for 4 years at Arsenal.
I think Czech had been, like, you could tell, like Arsenal wouldn't. I mean, Chelsea wouldn't have let Czech go if it wasn't over.
No, but we let Czech go because we knew the decline is coming.
Yeah.
So, and we have somebody who's so good.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the call you guys need to make. Like, do you think Henderson can be that top 5 goalkeeper in the world in the next 2 or 3 years?
But it was easier decision for you to make because the guy that you brought in had just won La Liga, went to a Champions League final. So he played outstanding on a team that was winning. We're trying to pull in some young kid, right? That's on a team that's lower in the table. Not that much lower, but it's like keeping for Sheffield is different than keeping for Man United. But keeping for Atletico Madrid when they're winning is similar to keeping for Chelsea.
Yeah,
who could, you know?
Yeah. And also, like, you gotta give props who's hot right now. You know, like, and Lampard, when he as a coach, he puts the people who are hot right now in. You know, Pulisic was doing really well. He kept starting him. You know, if Giroud's doing well, he keeps Giroud in. If not, all right, I'm throwing in Abraham. You know, he doesn't. There's no real loyalty to like seniority so far with Lampard, and I don't think it was that way.
That's why he always plays William, baby.
Yeah. William may be the one exception.
No, how is he the one exception? Obviously, he must be doing something. Even yesterday, he was involved in the goals.
Yeah. No, I mean, William is the one veteran that, but he
delivers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So
he has been delivering, but I wouldn't say he delivers. I like to make that slight distinction there.
Yeah. But I mean, I see. You know, Chelsea's trying to. You know, it looks like they're trying to fight for Oblak, and it looks like they just got Havertz, in addition to Ziyech and Werner. So it's looking wild for.
I heard they've agreed to terms with Havertz, but they haven't spoken to the actual team about the price of Havertz. So
I think it's a matter of. I think they're very close in terms of the money. They're talking about whether that entire money, 80 million or 90 million, goes as the front up fee or this part of it, which is bonus and add-ons. But I have a good feeling this is going to happen. I don't know about Oblak, but I feel like this one's going to happen.
But why do you think you need another striker, offensive person?
So here's the thing about Havertz. He's played as a striker a lot this season, but that is because from what I read was Leverkusen had a issue with their striker, like an injury or something. So he had to kind of like fill in. His main role is that playing as that offensive midfielder. And
that's why I said, do you need another striker or offensive player? This is a team.
So my logic in saying in going for Havertz is Lampard, if you see, since we played Liverpool in the FA Cup, has changed the system. We used to play 4-2-3-1, but now we are playing the inverse of it in midfield. We are playing one holding guy behind and 2 in front. Obviously, yesterday was different because you're playing 3 at the back, but when you're playing 4 at the back, most of the games, we're playing 1 behind and 2 in front. Now, for those 2 in front, we have Loftus-Cheek, Mount, and Barkley. We have 3 players who can play those 2 positions. Do we really trust Barkley to be a starter for a Premier League?
I hope you do.
Challenge? I don't think so. We do, because Barkley is a good squad guy. He won't complain with lack of game time. but you can't trust him to play those, 38 games. And so then you're left with Loftus-Cheek and Mount. We've seen Loftus-Cheek's, like I rate him very highly, but you've seen his issues with injuries.
Right.
So I think what's going to happen is Barkley's going to be sold, and we're going to have Havertz, Mount, and Loftus-Cheek, 3 players competing for those 2 positions, which is great. I mean, we're going to play 50 games, across Premier League and Champions League. We need that kind of, depth.
But don't you think it's more important to focus on getting defenders?
We're doing it all, baby. We're doing it all.
All I see is offense. What do you mean you're doing it all? Like your obvious issues every week is Kepa and the guys in the back hanging out.
Stuart said that we are going to get a goalkeeper. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's going to be Oblak, but I know we're going to get a keeper.
Where's Oblak right now? Atletico?
Yeah. Well, and considering how many guys we've given to Atletico, it's time to get another one back. Like we've given them Diego Costa, we've given them Morata. Let's keep this exchange program going.
We'll see.
We'll have to scam them though. Like I didn't expect to get like 60 million we got for Morata. We'll have to do that at a whole new level, because the report that came out was saying that we're trying to give them money plus Kepa for Oblak. And if I'm Diego Simeone, I'm gonna laugh at that, because like there's no way any club in the world is gonna buy Kepa after the season he's just had. So, but we're gonna try.
I think one could. It's not gonna be one that Kepa would feel like. It's
at
not
that
gonna be
level.
The same pedigree club.
Yeah. It's gonna be something. Yeah, like a club like.
I could see it being like an Everton level club.
Yeah.
Maybe you could scrub Kepa's record from the internet,
Well, yeah, if Man City can seem to scrub whatever they needed to scrub to not be banned from the Champions League, then I'm sure Chelsea can figure that too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like it's hard. I don't know. It's hard to not look guilty when they're still fining you 10 million euros.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying that last week. Are you guilty of something, bro?
Yeah. No one takes 10 million away willingly.
Right. So, Stuart, you was trying to get into something before we finished talking about the FA Cup. There was something in the Premier League. What was that? Because I want to go back to that now that we're done with the FA Cup. We now know it's Arsenal versus Chelsea in the final, and Arsenal's going to win. So we'll move on from that. Arteta's going to win his first trophy as an Arsenal fan. So that's good. Yeah. That's good. But at least Lambert's in the final first year in.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, depending on how Wednesday turns out against Liverpool, like what, the exact number of points he needs and which players he needs. When is the FA Cup final? Is that anytime soon?
It's after the Premier League, so
right.
Okay, so okay, so he doesn't need to rest anybody specifically for these 2 games. Okay, so then maybe that's not as much of a factor. But yeah, I mean, Chelsea's got a really tough 2 games ahead of them. Liverpool will be no slouches. They might not be fantastic,
and then they got Wolves.
They got to play Wolves. Yeah.
I hope.
And then Man U has West Ham, and then they have
Leicester.
They have to play at Leicester.
It doesn't matter. There's no crowd. Nobody. There's gonna be nobody there chanting, "Your wife has a grass beard."
Your bird is grass.
Yeah. To Vardy to getting riled up so he can score. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's going to be nobody doing that. So we're good. We got this.
I'm hoping the Premier League pumps in that song as the added crowd sound.
Then the whole thing's a conspiracy. And,
And then how deep the corruption goes.
This corruption goes deep. Yeah. All of a sudden, there's derogatory chants towards Vardy's wife. to rile him up.
Yeah, just to rile him up.
Yeah. We don't need that.
Vardy seems like one of those guys. Like, did you guys see The Last Dance?
Yeah.
With Jordan. So you know how Jordan would talk about, like, even if there wasn't a problem, he would make something a problem just to rile himself up. I wouldn't be surprised. Vardy seems like the guy who insane enough to do that too, just to rile himself up.
So you're saying his wife told him what was going on Rooney's wife's Instagram, and then Vardy sold it to the press.
I mean,
to get his wife in trouble, so that the fans would start singing songs about his wife, so that he could keep. Man, that's some Kaiser Sosa long game.
Vardy is like, I probably have 2 or 3 another 2 good seasons at the top. I need to get these goals in.
Yeah,
I need that extra.
He wants that golden boot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, he's on track to get the golden boot, and what better motivation for him to get those goals? Who does Leicester only has 1 more game, so that all he's thinking about is scoring goals on Man U, and he sees. I'm sure he's watching De Gea video and watching Maguire's weird looking face in the tape, and he's figuring out ways to make it happen. So that's what United's gonna have to contend against.
Is it true that Leicester go through if they win?
Win what?
If they win their last game, regardless of what happens between West Ham and United?
Nah, if we beat West Ham, right, we are 3 points ahead of them.
And then if they beat you, then you guys are equal.
And if they beat us, so it's going to be
goal difference.
Goal difference, which right now we are. Let me see what the goal difference is, because I thought we tied on goal difference.
Oh, you tied.
You're tied,
but they have more goals. Yeah, Leicester has more goals. So we need to, when we play West Ham, we need to put it to them, and then put them to the torch the village, take everything out, burn all their tents and all their huts, like shut it down, and then and then when we play Leicester, we probably still have to beat them because we can't afford a tie.
Yeah, you can afford to tie then.
If we tie, but they still have more goals.
No, that's fine. You just need to beat West Ham by a bigger margin than you lose to Leicester by. If you're talking about a win and a loss.
Oh yeah.
If you for example, if you beat West Ham by
5,
3-0,
right?
If you lose to Leicester only by 2-0, you'll be fine.
Even though we're tied?
Even though you're tied. Because that one will be the difference in the goal difference that,
Yeah.
But they have 67 goals for.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You'll first go to goal difference. You will be ahead of them on goal difference.
So they just use goal difference. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, they start with goal difference, and then if it's still tied, then you go to goals for.
Yeah.
Oh. And I'm trying to beat them in all categories. That's what I'm looking at. So I took that's
the real way to do it.
We have the rape and pillage, design for West Ham. Torch it all, burn it all down. We want to burn Leicester all the way down. What do you think of Tottenham's performance against Leicester this weekend? And then last weekend we had Lee on the show, and he said something that I agreed with before, and Martin was like panicking, because he's not sure, which is easy for Martin to do. He's just full of panic. That's his life. But he's like not sure about Mourinho. But this Mourinho run, it's not bad, It's
not bad.
When he got the team,
good, though.
They were in 14th. But look at it. Like,
that's true.
When you got a team in 14th, they're now in 7th. And his last, I'm looking at all green lights when I go to PremierLeague.com.
Yeah.
It's like it's all green and 1 draw, and then they've only had it's not, their record is not as bad. Like, it's like when people realize that Solskjaer had went 11 games undefeated. It took a while for that to hit people. I just don't think they're as bad either.
Yeah, and I mean, Mourinho, based on points, has clinched, European competition because they're 4 points ahead of Sheffield, and both of them only have one game left. So it's, even if Sheffield wins and Tottenham loses on Sunday, they still can vie for Europa League.
Right. No, there's something weird there though. If Arsenal wins the FA Cup, then Arsenal get that final Europa League spot.
Oh, right.
Not the seventh. So the seventh placed guy goes away.
Oh shit!
Oh, I forgot about that. Interesting.
So it is still crucial to seal that sixth place, and not leave it to chance for the seventh place.
Oh shit!
Okay. Wow. That's a nice little way to have a North London derby without ever having to play each other again.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, Jose did us a solid. We need to return the favor by knocking Arsenal in the FA Cup.
Sure.
they got rid of Leicester. I was really worried, like if Leicester get a point or like a win versus Spurs, because it's Jose Mourinho. Leicester is up against two of his former teams, United and Chelsea.
Right.
Now, so if you know anything about Jose Mourinho, he's the pettiest man in football. If somebody was gonna throw a game, it's gonna be Jose Mourinho. I was like, he's probably gonna play Ndombele as a false nine, have Harry Winks play center back.
That's hilarious. I like the way they set up and listen. You text me and asked me if I'm about the Chelsea game, and another friend of mine, Lloyd, is like, "You okay?" Because we lost, and I was like, "I don't give a fuck about Chelsea versus Man U this weekend." I put on a Spurs shirt and cheered for Spurs in my living room the entire weekend. And because that's 3 points for us. Them beating Leicester is 3 points. And that's all I give a fuck about. As far as I'm concerned, we're still on a 19-game winning streak because we just gained 3 points. I don't give a fuck about it.
You're borrowing more from Jose.
Yeah, and thank you, ex-coach. Good looking out. They say you never did anything or won anything at Man U, but you're wrong. You got us a Champions League spot, bro. And we still have to do our job, but
it's like getting a posthumous Oscar.
I'll take it.
But what a fall for Leicester. These guys were 14 points clear of the 5th place. They were through.
Yeah.
But they were punching above their weight. They have injuries. They have no depth. For them to be where they are nobody expected that. Brendan Rodgers has done a great job. And next season, they need to buy players. And then Sunju last week, their best defender, he's red carded for the season. So he's out. And then he's got to play these young kids. And then he's just got to give Brendan Rodgers, credit, but they had to come back to, Wolves has more depth than them. They're lucky there was only 9 games left in the season.
Yeah, Leicester and Sheffield have the same problem. Their starting 11 could be fantastic, but there might not be a 12th guy. Or there might not be a 13th or 14th or 15th guy that can really, make up the difference when someone key is just not available. Needs the rest.
Man U has a reverse problem, meaning the team we had in the beginning of the season and the team we have now, we didn't have in the beginning of the season. So we have a starting 11, but we don't have much. We don't have much. So then we're strong now because the team but we don't have much depth. We're lucky it's only 9 games and there's only 2 left. With the lack of depth that we have, that Southampton game, they really bothered us. They put some pressure on us. And I think our guys are tired. That's why I didn't want them to play. I didn't give a fuck about this FA Cup game. We could have played Romero as forward. I didn't give a damn.
I think looking forward to the next season, this drop by Leicester is going to be a problem for them to hold on to their players because they were banking on the fact that they can offer their players Champions League football, and because everybody wants James Maddison, everybody wants Ndidi, everybody wants Soyuncu, everybody wants their 2 fullbacks, Chilwell and Pereira. So, and of course, there's always going to be somebody who would want Jamie Vardy. even though he probably does not want to move at this point. But it's it's going to be tough for them to hold on to these players now. It could just be like 2015-16 all over again, where everybody you do great and then the whole team just disbands.
But it's like everybody wants them, but let's see. So there's Man City. I don't think Man City wants anything from them, right? And then
they need a centre back. Soyuncu is,
Yeah, but then they're above Arsenal in the table. So like, are you going to go to a team below you in the table? You know what I mean? Then Chelsea doesn't need anybody really from them.
Chilwell is apparently our biggest target at left back, even though I don't like Chilwell that much. But
me neither.
Apparently, Lampard's target on the left back is Chilwell.
Yeah, but he could still
say...
I
mean,
go ahead.
I think Chilwell's better than Alonso and Emerson.
Yeah. It's not a big bar to cross, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bar you trip over.
So
that's how low it is.
Yeah. Oh, actually, just today, I was reading that apparently, and this is pretty much more or less confirmed, that Manchester City is buying Nathan Ake for £35 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good deal for him because that price is not crazy. So I don't think he's that good. He is worth $35 million.
Yeah.
But it's not like, oh man, we paid $35 million for you. Play better. Yeah. It's like he can only play above $35 million. He'll always be.
Yeah.
If he plays $50 million, they got a bargain. But I still don't think Nathan Ake's that good.
I think he's pretty good though, but like I think he is so weak in the air. That's why he'll never become like a title winning centre back.
So why buy that?
So that's what I don't understand, because Manchester City, their main centre back, Laporte, if he has one defect, is the inability in the air. So why buy another centre back who's even worse in the air and try to pair them up? Maybe he's not buying him for a centre back because Ake has played as a left back and a DM in the past. So
I trusted more at DM.
Yeah, he's played as DM.
Yeah.
He was from our team, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they could switch him and Fernandinho, because Fernandinho filled in at center back a lot.
Yeah. And Fernandinho was good at defense, but he also made mistakes back there. He's you have to really be a defender, and Fernandinho is not young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Ake could be better with better people around him. I saw a lot of Bournemouth games with him really struggling for help.
Yeah.
He made some critical tackles at the right time, but it's because he was making up for some of the really sloppy playing that his wingbacks and his midfielders were making. So I'm wondering if by having a much stronger unit around him, he could really shine and not be just focus on his specific responsibilities.
I still don't believe in him as like an elite defender. It's like, how old is he?
He's 24, 25.
It's decent age. I just like listen. If they get him as a central defensive midfielder, fine. But if they get him as a defender, I think Man City is not being patient. One of the things that made Man City the Man City they are is being like good in the transfer market and not buying people desperately. And if they're getting him to be a defender, this like once the front office is the foundation of the club. Like once they got to play cool, relax, and just pick their moments and pick their right players. The moment you start putting the wrong players on the team, that's when the product on the field gets affected because you spent money and you have people, and then it just like you could like look how many losses City has. It's just you can tell the blending of the players and the lack of some of them combined with the potency of others has caused them unbalanced. So good luck.
One more question on this. I'm wondering what people were thinking around this time when Van Dijk was getting traded from Southampton to Liverpool. Because, because I feel like Van Dijk, he might have been relatively solid at this lower tier team, but I wonder how much people doubted his potential once he got over to Liverpool, or he was in transit. Because Ake is another Dutch center back.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how if he could have a similar transformation.
I think that's a pretty interesting comparison, though, because I think Van Dijk was rated slightly better because you could see a few things like just that sheer presence where at the back line, and he didn't have any of these noticeable defects like like in the air or anything. But apart from that, I feel Ake is a pretty solid centre back. Whether I don't think his ceiling is as high as Van Dijk, but another thing they have in common is as you mentioned that he had to literally do everything at Bournemouth. Van Dijk had a similar thing at Southampton, and what that does is makes you more of a leader in the back line, and that's pretty helpful for a top team, because we don't have any leaders in our defense.
Who's going to do that? Zuma?
Let me ask you a question. Who do you think is better, Nathan Ake or Stones?
Okay.
How much better?
Way better as a defender. Stones, the only thing I feel he's good at is like in carrying the ball, and I know that's important in the modern game, but just as a defender, Ake does not have that many mistakes in him as John Stones does.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with Stones that raises doubts within me.
Oh, you could just watch him play. He has David Luiz disease.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say David Luiz too. Ake does not have mistakes in him.
He does.
No. Ake is.
I don't know if it's those kinds of mistakes.
I don't know. Maybe he is going to be a better player with a better team, but like just the fact that you're not saying he's going to be elite, which is what Man City needs and is used to, is going to be a problem. It's like
I think he could be a pretty high quality centre back if he's with somebody. I feel actually United would be a better fit because you have Maguire who is commanding in the air, and you pair him with Ake. I just don't like the pairing of Ake and Laporte if that's what it comes down to.
You don't need, listen, Man City already has players on the level of Ake. They want players above that level. They have Otamendi, who you could coach into being like
he's like
a player, but he's going to make mistakes. Exactly.
He's like 92. How are you going to coach him anymore?
But who? Ake or Otamendi? But he's already on City. You don't have to coach him anymore. I'm just saying, for the moment they kept him at City, you were like,
right.
Pep is going to get something out of him, but this guy is not the first choice. Like every time Pep has to write Otamendi's name down on the sheet, he does it where you could see it's with resentment. It's like he doesn't even
with a
finish.
sigh.
It's just the sigh. He just writes the O on it, and he's like, "Fuck." And then he looks at, and then he's like, "Fuck it." And I could put, goddamn, what's his name? What's the English guy? Let me bring my
Stones.
Stones, or do I bring my defensive midfielder back? Come on back, defensive midfielder. No, none today.
Yeah.
Like Otamendi, he's done a lot in his career, and he's played above his level. But again, that's not what you're asking. You want an Ake and an Otamendi together where Laporte gets injured, and you want that team to win this league? Nah, bro.
I mean, if they, but that just shows how bad John Stones, his career progression hasn't worked out. As he was really highly rated when he was at Everton, and but it just hasn't worked out. So
I would take him on Man U as a replacement for Matic.
Who?
Stones.
Stones. Oh, okay. As a DM.
As a CDM, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's
what I think
he has the
is.
Height.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has the height, and maybe he could, be better if he had, having Maguire and Lindelof behind him.
Yeah, he could be as good as Carrick was.
I don't know. I mean, I think Carrick offered something that I don't think Stones has. I don't know how fast Stones is. I just feel like Carrick was faster.
Maybe you know what it is.
Or just more dynamic.
Carrick Stones as a last defender doesn't get rid of the ball right away. He's just maybe he'll be more awake in the middle of the field, or less nervous.
I also feel Stones is a little soft. Like, how is he going to be that aggressive tackling DM that you want, like a Fabinho or a Fernandinho? You want somebody who can, like, really get in and, be up for the duel. Yeah.
Sometimes you change somebody's position and you change their life completely. And I think he needs a position change. Yeah. I feel like there's the things that he can add to the game are not being added when he's the last defender. And then, so you're getting less out of him. And I think the things that you can add to the game, if you move him up, he can give more of that. So there's less highlight on the things that he's not giving you. So I think Stones needs to move forward as on the pitch as a player.
Every time you try and move, City is not a team where you move players around because of their defense. They just go buy the best player at that position.
Well, that's what they need to do and not get Aki.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was surprised
I don't care if he's named after the Jamaicans' national dish. We don't want. City should be looking for something better. I want to give Harry Kane props in the Leicester game because that motherfucker played some football. And Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura played so tough. Like, there are balls that he won that resulted in goals and passes that he made that resulted in goals. And that just the Harry Kane's pass to Son for Son's goal was just an outside of the foot pass into space that Son ran into. I just want to give props for that. So do you think, as both of you Chelsea fans, do you think you can beat Liverpool? I mean, who's going to be in the mood to beat you?
I think we can beat Liverpool, but I think it's because of the fact that Liverpool doesn't need to prove anything to anybody anymore. Like, they can't get the century. It doesn't do them any good to win any more games. They don't have Champions League to aspire to. They don't have FA Cup to aspire to. It's like they just got to ride out this season and lift the trophy. So I think Klopp will probably play, probably the top 11 or at least the top 10 guys.
He might not.
Yeah, but he could also throw in Curtis Jones and Nico Williams and
then you guys
Chamberlain.
Have a chance. Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah, if he doesn't.
Sorry, they have the trophy presentation that game. I don't think they want to lose that.
I don't know if they care. I really don't. I think they might say they care, but and I think Klopp says he cares, but I think there's just something that happened once they clinched it. It's just and they celebrated, and I think that that extra switch that made them so amazing this season, I think it turned off.
Which is a shame.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to say it. As much as I want to see them finish it out strong and sprint to the end, part of me is bro, you earned it. Have your cake.
I mean, not me. I want him to beat you guys. Play like champions. Play like champions. You say you champions, Liverpool. Play like champions. Beat Chelsea. Don't let Chelsea beat you. It's gonna be embarrassing at your trophy ceremony. Do something.
I think.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be up for it.
Start your starters who get the trophy. Start them, but I don't think they're gonna do that though. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I feel like if he's, I don't know what. Alisson has not been playing at the level he's been playing the rest of the season.
Cool.
Alisson. I feel like he's got he's also been put in some terrible positions. I know it's not just him, but the way he's reacted to some of those weird moments earlier in the season, he was spectacular.
Right.
And I know Van Dijk only once every couple of years he gets fouled in a weird place. He doesn't get the call.
Oh, Van Dijk had a howl. Yeah, yeah. He like he's just stopped playing in that last game. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That was a
straight
Nathan Ake move.
Lovren wouldn't do any different. I mean, Lovren would probably just shout more and play less.
When is this game?
It's on Wednesday.
This game
Wednesday.
Yeah,
like if they play Lovren on Wednesday, you guys got this.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I hope.
I think if they play Allison, we might have a chance. I would, if they played Adriano, I might start to get worried. It's like
even with Kepa,
try.
Even with Kepa in your goal.
Oh my God!
I think Adriano would try.
Yeah, with Kepa, like our defense has to literally make sure that we don't have any shots on target. Because the moment there's shots, it's like 1 and 2 go in.
That defense can't guarantee you that.
No, but we have. Like, that's what I'm saying. I think it's become very underrated, the kind of defense we've had. Because it looks bad on the score sheet. It looks bad in the goals conceded. But you literally have the worst goalkeeper of all time, statistically. I mean, we did this stat came out, like among 656 keepers, and I think I mentioned this last time, among 656 keepers that have played Premier more than 1,000 minutes in a season, Kepa has the second worst save percentage among all of them.
Who has the worst?
655 is some guy who nobody's ever heard.
Is it David De Gea?
No, but that's what I'm saying. David De Gea. Like everybody else who you can think throughout history has had a bad season, they're still better than what Kepa's had this season. So the fact that our defense, we have among the lowest shots on target conceded, lowest shots conceded among the top 4, like in the when you look at least, you look at that expected goals against metric, we're doing very well there. In terms of the goals conceded from open play, we are very low. Thing that has hurt us the most are these set pieces, free kicks and corners, where we have a keeper who just refuses to come out and punch the ball. And every other keeper does that, and that's where you get an advantage. But,
What is that?
Well, good luck Wednesday then.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you take, which, against United, I was so worried. Like, if you played your front 6.
Yeah, we would have beat you, but we couldn't
afford
all
to. Love to take shots.
Yeah.
You play them against Kepa? Oh my God. That could have been,
Yeah, you're welcome. Just know that you're lucky.
Well, we didn't play Kepa. We saw that coming. So, I think you guys had all those players in the second half though, right?
Yeah, but it was just too late to get in the rhythm of a game, because even sometimes when they start, it takes them a minute to get into the rhythm of the game. It's just all over the place. It's like it was just too late, and they shouldn't have sent them on Pogba or any of those guys at all. Like let the other guys play themselves into shape and fight for it, and just rest. Take Fernando, rest Bruno Fernandes. He hasn't been playing that great in the last few games. Yeah. Even though we got a penalty and he scored it in this game, and he's still. But I feel like he needs a rest. That little guy in this British league is rough and tough, even though he's got the heart of a lion. Rest him.
He's figuring it out, but you can't play him every minute just straight away and think he's not going to get tired.
I know. Like, I think Solskjaer's coaching strategy is play Bruno Fernandes. What's your formation? Play Bruno Fernandes.
This Solskjaer have like a part of his salary direct deposit to Bruno Fernandes' checking account.
So what's your strategy against West Ham? Play Bruno Fernandes. What's your strategy when you go home tonight and you get into an argument with your wife? Play Bruno Fernandes.
Listen, honey, your husband, he is he has very specific, needs going into the end of the season. Please let him rest. He makes Pogba inspired. Pogba's playing with more gusto now that he has someone who can really work with him in the middle.
Right. I mean, the team is definitely better with Pogba. I hope he stays. And we just need to get some reinforcements in the attacking midfield. We need to just get rid of – it's so funny. Lingard midweek had a good, decent game as a sub. And when I say good, decent, it means he didn't lose the ball when you pass it to him. He didn't do anything, but he didn't lose the ball. Yeah. Like he's like, oh, shit. And then all of a sudden we feel like, oh, Lingard could stay on the team. You need more than that. Because that's what he should have been doing in the first fucking place. Yeah. Like holding on to a ball that's passed to you is like standard. But we need to sell Lingard, get rid of Mata, maybe get some money from Smalling or keep Smalling. We're going to lose money on Sanchez. But are we going to really lose money on Sanchez? We can lose his salary. We never paid for Sanchez. We bought Mkhitaryan and traded Sanchez for Mkhitaryan. And then we gave Sanchez a salary. So we just need to get him off our books. And then and use the money and get Sancho. And possibly another attacking midfielder.
Yeah. No, yeah, I say you just keep depositing those guys into Serie A, because Serie A has become this weird Premier League dumping ground for unwanted.
Roma and Inter, they're just they just open their legs for Premier players.
It's the MLS before the MLS.
Yeah, apparently.
It's like you go Premier League to Serie A, then you go to Turkey, make a bit stop at Turkey, and then you go to MLS, and then maybe you can fit in China somewhere in the middle.
It's like it'll happen. It's like when you're a player at the end of the year, you go to, when we're working, we have money, we go to an investment guy, and he tells us where to put your money. You go to an investment football booker who can tell you where to go and maximize the worst years of your playing. Go to Turkey, go to China, then the MLS, and take maybe the Emirates, get some money there, and then you'll be richer than you were in the last 4 years of your career than you were in your prime. You just have to plan this out right.
Yeah, I think the method, if I'm getting the pattern right, is you got to go to more and more unstable, fucked up countries. Like you go from England to Italy, and then you go to Turkey, and then you go to China, and then you go to America,
which is the most unstable, fucked up.
And then maybe Sudan afterward. What? I don't know what's after that.
There's lately India's when you're done, when you can't you've maxed out every credit card possible. You go to India. I think Luis Garcia is still playing out there. David James is still playing out there. These guys are still playing there.
It's you could blow all the money you ever made in soccer, and you could still hey man, we still got India. You could make that money up. Everything that you lost, you could now take the last month of your playing career and take it seriously. I want to kind of go to the bottom of the table because there's a lot of interesting stuff going on there. And Bournemouth lost again this weekend to Southampton. You said good?
It's not looking good.
Nah, it's not looking good. It's looking better for Aston Villa, who, they probably might go down, but I'm just rooting for them more than everybody else that's in jeopardy. Mm-hmm. And Villa has to play Arsenal tomorrow, and that is tough.
Who's Watford playing? But Watford's playing Man City, so.
And Watford's playing Man City, but that's Aston Villa has got to get some points from Arsenal. There's no choice.
Yeah, Watford has to play Man City and then Arsenal. Aston Villa has to play Arsenal and then West Ham. So
that's easier.
That's easier.
It is easier objectively, but it just sort of depends on whether or not they can get that point against Arsenal, or get that win against West Ham. And I don't know if they can make up goal difference. That's
No, they have the difference of 4 goals. Villa is doing worse than Watford.
okay. So then, yeah, I mean, it'll be really tight, but it's they're gonna have to put in some work, and it's as much as I like seeing Jack Grealish and his tree trunk legs in the Premier League, he
short shorts
brazenly shows off.
Yeah,
he's got
his ass calves.
Yeah, he's got the kit for everyone. Part of the kit is from 2020, except the shorts. Those are from 1973.
Yeah, he's got those Abercrombie and Fitch calves.
As much as I like seeing him in the Premier League, it's like it's he and that team are gonna have to put in some work. And El Ghazi had a beautiful chance last game to slot in another goal, and they just he went anywhere but. He pulled a Christian Ramirez.
Yeah, they against Everton, they had that game, man, and in the last few minutes of the game, conceded a goal to Everton for a tie and only got 1 point out of that game.
Yeah.
So this Arsenal thing tomorrow is it pretty much. I mean, they still have another chance if they lose, but man, they got to win that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I think as much as I'd like to see more than one promoted team, stick around just for variety's sake. They were the authors of their own demise most of this whole season.
And Bournemouth too. Like I was watching Match of the Day before this, and you're like, what is the problem with Bournemouth? Why are they going down this year? But the problem with Bournemouth is a problem that they've had since they've been in the Premier League. In 6 Premier League seasons, they've conceded over 60 goals. This year, it's like they're just too easy to score on, especially when you can't get enough goals for yourself. So, like Eddie Howe at some point should have bought the players to kind of change the system to be more defensive. They want to play that attractive football. It's not that attractive when you have 30. You're scoring. What are they scoring? How many goals do they have?
They have, it looks like they have 37 goals for and 64 against.
64 against, yeah. It's not. It's like, I know you love goals, Eddie, but you want to love them against the opposing team, not going into your net. Like, who are you trying to thrill and entertain? The away fans? Like,
yeah,
the opposing team is like, it's almost like one of those fighters that they're gonna lose, even if this guy. There's some fighters, boxers or MMA fighters, like you go see their fight because it's gonna be exciting. They might lose, but they're gonna go down swinging. And if they win, they're gonna go out. So to see this person fight is exciting, but the amount of brain damage is gonna pile up, and you're gonna pay later on in life. And now this is the problem with Bournemouth.
Yeah, this partnership between Callum Wilson and Josh King is not. It's not panned out the way it's panned out in other seasons. Like I think between the two of them, they each get like somewhere in like the low double digits of goals per season. Like King might get like 10, and Callum Wilson might get like 13 or 14, and that's a lot. That carries a lot of weight. As you go on throughout the season. But I don't think either of them have really delivered.
Plus throw in Frazier being missing because there's some type of contractual issue where he's refusing to play because I don't know what's going on. So I don't know the full story of that. But Frazier, if Frazier played with them in the restart, they would have won some of these games. Like the last game this week, they had chances. They just didn't put it away. And Frazier is a guy that can create chances. So that him having a problem with the club contractually is like
I think his contract
final blow.
His contract ran out, and he just wasn't willing to. Because like what we did the same thing with Pedro and William. We signed like a 3-month extension,
right?
Because contracts usually run out at the end of July or June. But there's June. But because of the pandemic and it's a weird schedule, so but I think Ryan Fraser has an offer from another team. He just doesn't want to get into it. So he's like, I just want to play these games and save myself for my next team.
Yeah.
Well,
you can't blame him for it. Like, clubs do these kind of things all the time with players. It's just this time players are the ones who have the advantage.
How old is Frazier?
I think he's probably mid-20s, 26.
Right. I like him. But if this club goes down, I don't think fans will ever, he will never be able to just like buy a pack of fish and chips in Bournemouth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's no way you could go back there. And this is where you establish your identity as a player. It's like you could have signed an extension just to finish the season, right? You could have did that, right?
He could
have, but you play these games and you risk. If you're looking to get a new contract, you already know from your agent that such and such club is interested in you and they're willing to offer you this. Why would you jeopardize this for 10 games for a club that you don't even know that you're going to be able to save them from relegation or not?
But so many players signed the contracts for the last 9 games of the season and extended it. Most players did. This is the only case that it's pretty cold-blooded.
It is. I mean,
yeah. Well, so is COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, this is some COVID shit. But
we're doing something similar with Timo Werner, where it's not the league, but he's not finishing out the Champions League with RB Leipzig, and he's coming.
That's crazy.
To Chelsea to train instead.
That's crazy. Like, why isn't he?
Because his contract has run out there, and he has prioritized starting and training, doing a good preseason with his new club over playing, Champions League with Leipzig.
Well, imagine if he got hurt playing with Leipzig. That would then Chelsea be like, well, what the fuck? We spent 60 million.
You're not a player now. You're not a player now. We're playing we're playing a certain salary.
You could get hurt hanging up a painting in your new home in Chelsea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
You get hurt anyhow. Just you're in the Champions League with Leipzig. They have a decent shot. Well, maybe they don't have a decent shot. But I just say you want to finish the Champions League, man.
I mean, these are special circumstances, So players are gonna. I don't blame Werner. Like if Willian and Pedro decided to not sign the contract and tap out, I would not have had a problem with that because.
But that's how good William is.
Yeah, but I completely understand from a player's point.
What a nice guy.
Yeah,
that never gets credit.
He said that he's also willing to pay for free.
For what?
He gave during the lockdown, he gave an interview to a Brazilian radio station saying that, you know what, I love Chelsea so much. If I have to, I'll even pay for free. I don't even need a contract for these 3 months.
So, and you hate him. And you hate a guy like that.
I would say he values his services accurately.
He values his what?
He values his services accurately.
Let me tell you something, bro. Chelsea would be out of and you cannot disprove this. Chelsea would be out of Champions League contention if Willian was not there for the 9-game season restart. You would not be where you at.
I think you're right.
I think you're right too. Yeah.
I think I can understand like Neil not liking Willian for like saying that he would play for free or among many whatever other reasons. It's just because like, maybe if I was a coach, if I was like Roman Abramovich, I'd be like, yeah, man, do I want no sus ass bitch on my team? Like, I don't know. Like, do I want a guy with that mentality?
Yeah,
playing for me.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm just busting his balls. No. I actually quite rate what he's done this season. I just don't think he's done anything that has changed my mind because we know you kind of accept what you accept. It's just that this season we haven't had like Pulisic been injured for a while. Hudson-Odoi has been injured for almost the entire season. Pedro has gotten older than Willian. So we've had to bank on this guy. And, credit to him.
Those free kicks though were magnificent.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have to thank you as if I'm William, because it's just tough, just any positive William talk when Neil's around. It's just impossible.
A big hair thank you. A big hair back.
Thank you.
I just say he's having...
you got Williams. You're the white version of Williams here right now.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, like, he's been one of our most important players this season. But that's...
Why is there going to have to be a but after that? Where's this but from?
The but is from the fact that still just means having 6 non-penalty goals in the season.
Let me tell you something. You know what is tough? How hard it is to win games when Kepa's your goalkeeper and Williams like busting his ass and contributing, to the worst goalkeeper ratio, saving ratio.
I will say this though. Williams probably the best defensive winger in the world. Like, I've never seen something like this.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't think he gets enough. He comes back. And that saves you guys, because since your guy cannot handle a shot on goal, on target, how many shots on target has this guy prevented? With that Keystone crew of defenders back there, plus
and it's also been very helpful with the Reece James, who's just learning his trade in the Premier League for the first season. 19-year-old kid. I think it's helped him to have somebody like Willian ahead. And you can see that, like, yesterday, Reece James was so good. Like, he was covering everything. But it helps having somebody like Willian who's always there to, he's not that far away from you.
Right.
But, it's fine. We can, like, you can actually have defensive wingers who also do the job up front. So,
yeah,
not like
I don't need the best defensive winger in the world. I can do with somebody who's like in the top 20 of defense. I don't even like the term defensive wingers. I had to make it to justify William being a professional athlete, But so I'm okay with somebody being not that great defensively, but we need a forward line where all three can be a goal threat.
Yeah.
Consistently over the season.
I want to talk about some random things. You were going to say something, Stuart. What'd you say?
I was going to say I need Reece James to figure his shit out, because Azpilicueta is it feels like it's like when in a movie when you see the dad or the friend like cough into the rag and there's blood. Like, I feel like Azpilicueta is starting to do that. He's just starting to cough. Oh, and he hides it to make it seem like he still got it.
He plays like Doc Holliday.
No, but I'm not surprised though. Aspi has been pretty solid this season. But here's the thing with Aspi. What you're saying about him, like, losing his legs, it's to be expected, because this guy has played the most outfield minutes in the top 5 of Premier League, not just Premier League, across Europe. In the last 5 seasons, he plays more than 3,000 minutes every season, and he's doing that in one of the positions that's the most physically taxing, a fullback. So
how old is he?
He's I think he's just 31. So he is gonna have that kind of, or maybe 30.
That's why I'm like, why would you guys spend money where you're spending it? Like, you got, is it Hakimi?
Hakeem Ziyech.
You got Ziyech, and you got Havertz, and you have not Havertz. You have Werner, and then you have the Giroud, who it's going to be tough to figure out what to do with Giroud, because he's scoring, but you're like, he's done, but he's like, no, I'm not, and then like, it's like, what do you do with Giroud next season? You keep him, or you just try to get some money for him?
I think we'll keep him till half of the season.
Are you sure?
If a good offer comes in, we'll sell him.
All right. So you're just gonna use him.
Yeah,
you're gonna act like, nah, man, we back. We back on, boo. I'm serious about you. But why am I not getting no playing time? Nah, don't worry about that. Just and then half the season comes. Yeah. It's like, bye, Giroud. But you said I could have had a full.
Je veux jouer.
Peace, Giroud.
And that's fine, because that's what I'm saying. Like clubs do these kind of things all the time. Therefore, when players do this, like Ryan Fraser refuses to play, I don't have a problem with that. Like, it's business.
It's just crazy to not play while all your colleagues are playing. That has been at least Timo Werner played till the end of the season for. Speaking of which, like Jude Bellingham just got signed officially, I think, to Dortmund.
Yeah.
And he's a player we were looking at. So it's a great place for like a young English kid or just any young kid to go that has promise like that. And the fact that Dortmund wanted him almost makes it feel like this is going to be like he's really got it. But
Yeah.
I think
Sancho's paved a nice path for those kinds of guys to really explore elsewhere.
Right.
Yeah. I think just to close on the, just one more word on you're saying like, why would you spend money on the forward positions when you have these?
Yeah, defend it. Go ahead.
I think we are going to do those. So I'm not really that worried. I think we are going to go in, at least at a minimum, you're going to get a left back and we're going to get a goalkeeper. And we are going to get one out of a centre back and a DM, because we can't take a risk like the risk we took this season where Conte's had so many injuries, and that's we are defensively not secure if Conte is not playing. So I think we are going to have one more DM who can fill in that spot either as a backup and there's a lot of talk about Declan Rice, who plays as a DM for West Ham and has had a very good season, but he's also played in on the off occasion as a centre back, and I think that's the guy we might go after.
Placeholder, like you have you guys are spending more on the wedding than you're spending on the place where the bride and groom are gonna live after the wedding.
I mean, if there's like 5 spots and you're saying that we need probably 3, we're doing 2. So
what do you need 3? You already have 2. You just bought 2 attacking players.
No. I'm talking about defense. If you're saying we need a left back, a goalkeeper, and a centre back, we are definitely gonna do the left back and the goalkeeper. The only thing that's up in the air is the centre back.
I'll believe it when I see it, because all I see you doing is buying attacking players. I can't even. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna do it. So.
Best defense is good offense, Ian. You know this.
Yeah, all right. All right, bro.
We're going by second grade rules.
Yeah, okay. If you want to go, hey, man, you do what you want to do. Did we talk about, I don't know if we talked about last week about Leeds won the championship, so they will be coming up to the Premier League next year with Bielsa. He's a legendary coach. Pep Guardiola learned from Bielsa, has won so many titles, because of this guy.
Yeah.
So
I'm really happy to see Leeds back.
Yeah. Just seeing Leeds back.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, I think it'd be great to see them back, and it would also be great to just see an even better caliber coaching coming in with these promoted teams. It's not to say that Chris Wilder or Daniel Farke or Dean Smith were not legendary coaches, or they were not good coaches. But to have someone coming in with with Bielsa's resume, it'd be interesting to see if he can pull off what Sheffield did or what Wolves did upon their re-entry.
It depends on what they do. It's weird because Aston Villa spent a lot of money, and it's not said and done yet. But they're not. They might go down, and then I don't think Sheffield spent a lot of money.
Doesn't seem like it.
And last year, I think Fulham spent a lot of money and went down, but then somebody else didn't, and then it's just you just can't go overboard and lose the team chemistry. But Aston Villa also had to get rid of a lot of players that weren't really playing and they just didn't get scoring. They just didn't get a scorer.
Well, yeah, they lost Abraham.
They scorer. Yeah, that's help. if you needed him to get out the Championship, you're going to need him to stay in the Premiership. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what Bielsa brings.
It's going to be two more blockbuster games for every especially if the crowds come back in the Premier League
in October, like they said.
Yeah, like if next season we have the crowds back, and then that Leeds crowd's going to be crazy. It's going to be like Anfield.
Oh, for sure.
They're really boisterous bunch.
Yeah, and then my friend said the Leeds fans are annoying him already. So he was up to here with Liverpool fans, and then I think the Leeds fans have caught up.
Because I think both United and Chelsea have a natural rivalry with Leeds.
With Leeds, yeah. But when we do that, we just buy their players.
Yeah.
Oh, so you want to be good, Leeds? Give us that Rio. Is that what we got, Rio?
Yeah,
let me pick the best berries off the vine.
Yeah. Then they gave us some shit. I'm not gonna call them shit, but Alan Smith did not turn out to be what we. I don't know. I didn't think we should have got Alan Smith anyway. But Alan Smith played for England, but he wasn't Man U. I'm trying to say what else. I think that's pretty much it. So we got what's important coming up, the games. Everything's important. Everything's up for grabs. Like, people have to win. So Man U, Chelsea, and Leicester have one. Leicester has one game left, and Chelsea has two. Man U has two, and it's all for implications for Champions League. So that's important there. And then down at the bottom of the table, it's Bournemouth is still alive. They're in second to last place. They got 19. They're 19th with 31 points. Villa, 18 with 31 points. And Watford is hovering above them, 3 points more in 17th place. And they're both hoping that Watford gets sucked into the void with them and they can switch places and come out on top. And
they fired Nigel Pearson, so who knows?
Yeah, West Ham should be safe. Like, is it Mikel Antonio is just on fucking fire, and we have to play West Ham. This guy, don't let this guy in the box. He said something in an interview. First of all, I never really liked him because he was never consistent. But after he scored 4 goals in the game, they did an interview with him, and you realize, oh, this guy's a cool personality. He's like, happy in the way that you'd want a player to be happy when they've just done something. And he wasn't like downplaying it, but it's like, oh, I like when somebody wins an Oscar or something. Not that this one game was an Oscar. I like when somebody does something great and their interview about it is not fake humble, and it's like just their true, authentic feeling, and it comes off really positive and good. So I like that about him, and he's just staying in the box and he's just scoring. So we have to watch out for this guy. And a bunch of other players on West Ham that are starting to like help out in the midfield and cause some trouble. You can't let David Moyes come back to his old team. Come back to his old team, and we got to show David Moyes why we got rid of him. That's what we do. and just know that David Moyes is gonna try to fuck us over because he's trying to save West Ham. And David Moyes, you should lose. You know why you should lose? Because West Ham is stringing you along. You're a side piece coach. And after this season, they're going to let you go. Don't trust them. Don't win for them. They don't mean nothing to you. At least Man United got rid of you when we should have got rid of you. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we didn't string you along, bro.
Well, I'm hoping like Declan Rice is in his head thinking that he's playing for his Champions League future. Because if he wants to come to Chelsea next season, he wants to make sure to get rid of Man U. He's a Chelsea boy. He'll come to Chelsea. But
didn't you get rid of him?
Yeah, when he was like 14, 15 from the academy. But
cold-blooded. Made a 14-year-old pack his bags.
It was crazy. Apparently he like cried and like he was like depressed for like a month or so. Mm-hmm. And then John Terry bumped into him at a coffee shop.
Oh yeah.
And Terry was like, "It's all right, mate. This happens," and stuff like that. So he kind of took him under his wing. And,
Oh right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, there are a lot of players. Even though we feel a lot of these teams don't have anything more to play for anymore, there are a lot of players within these teams that have something riding even on these last two games. Because you're either pushing for the next move or you're pushing for a better contract from the existing club. So it's not going to be there's not going to be any easy games.
Yeah, and even like I'm looking at this thing on the BBC, and they say Wolves maintain Europa League hopes, but not only that, like the game between Brighton and Newcastle, which was 0-0 today. It's like Brighton manager Gary Potter says the financial implications are massive after his side they secured the Premier League, but based on where you also finish in the table, you make more money. And it's like
absolutely.
So everybody's just playing for money right now.
Yeah.
Except Crystal Palace, who's lost 7 in a row. They're just giving away money. They're just leaking it. It's like a house with like old windows that can't hold in the heat in the wintertime. They're just it's like going out the.
Yeah, they were like 9th or something at some point.
Yeah, now they're 14th. As soon as they secured safety and got over 40 points, those motherfuckers went on vacation. It's like their shadows are playing for them.
Yeah.
You want to see a shadow in a jersey? Watch a Crystal Palace game.
Yeah. Please forgive me, Ian, if I'm blowing bubbles on Wednesday during the Man U game.
That's pretty disrespectful, bro. That's pretty disrespectful.
Forgive me. I'm just trying to see if Chelsea can get a little more money so they can afford all these players they say they're getting.
Don't forgive me if I'm popping bubbles. I'm just popping those bubbles. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about or fill in?
I've been enjoying watching these little bits of MLS is back. I mean, I know it's not the same as like watching regular MLS, but I thought El Tráfico Orlando edition was pretty excellent.
Was that Miami versus Orlando?
No, I mean the LAFC versus the Galaxy
in Orlando. Oh, okay.
In Orlando. Yeah, it was. I was really worried that LAFC without Vela was going to be just again, like these other teams like Palace, a shadow of its former self.
Right.
But it seems like other guys, and that insertion of Bradley Wright Phillips has been no issue for them. They've been they took it to the Galaxy, and that was really fun to watch.
Yeah, I heard Chicharito ain't playing so good.
He got that one goal against I'm forgetting against whom, but it took him a few tries. He kept finding himself offside, and I think he's I don't think he's as he gets some nice goals, but he's not as flashy or as powerful as Zlatan is. So it's not a 1-for-1 switch. They gotta adjust their game.
He's never, ever in a Zlatan category as a player, and he cries too much. Like he depends on the ref a lot.
Yeah, but I think because he likes
Zlatan, he likes to go run and tell dad what just happened.
a little bit.
See, now just play, man. If I saw it, I would have blown the whistle. Nothing happened.
Right. But I think Pavone is now more confident because of how he played with Zlatan. Mm-hmm. So I think with a more confident Pavone, he and Chicharito can hopefully play a little bit more fluidly together. Mm-hmm. They had some nice moments, but LAFC beat them 6-2. It was and Rossi scored 4 of those goals, which was pretty damn awesome.
Come on, LAFC, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So is it a knockout tournament? Like what is?
It's a little bit like Champions League, where like the top 2 teams go through from each group, and then it becomes so they're in groups right now, and I think they're finishing it. I think they still have a few more games to go, but it could be pretty exciting because I think some teams that were great last year are not proving to be as exciting this go around with the new setup. Like the Sounders are not, they won the league and they're not pulling through the same way. They pulled through against Vancouver, but they've lost some games they should have won.
I'll try to check out some games. It's just that I just don't have the time between the Premier League, watching some La Liga, watching some Italian games or highlights, and just catching up on everything. It's just tough.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll definitely watch the final.
Yeah, and I mean, Premier League and Serie A and La Liga are going to be over pretty shortly, so that'll probably start to dominate the soccer TV landscape soon.
Yeah, Premier League is done. Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new season is beginning. It's in less than. It's on September 12th, so it's less than 2 months from now.
Right.
And it's gonna be a month and a half from when the FA Cup is final is done.
Mm-hmm.
And Champions League, I think we play Bayern Munich. We're just going and playing on the 8th of August. So we'll have just a week, like a month after that, and I think it goes on for another 2 weeks after that. So if like folks like City, I think City's the only English team left, right?
In the Champions League? Yeah. Yeah, because Liverpool's gone.
Yeah. Spurs gone too.
Yeah, I think so. Let me see Champions League. Okay.
So yeah, it's gonna be a very quick. Before you even know it, it'll be the time for the next season.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I guess it's nice that we get this as viewers. We get to watch this sort of like nonstop soccer train for like we get to watch like a season and a quarter or a season and a half worth of soccer in the same amount of time. But I'm interested to see how these players hold up from it, because I got to think some of them are going to really feel it.
I think Tottenham's still in there.
Didn't they like lose to Leipzig? They lost to Leipzig.
They lost to Leipzig 3-0. So
because that's a Leipzig still there.
Oh, this is an old thing.
And they lost 1-0 the return leg.
Okay.
All right.
So I think what's going to happen with Chelsea, at least, is a lot of these players, like Ziyech is already training with the team.
Mm-hmm. I saw him in the stands at a game.
Yeah, and I think Werner is coming back sometime just after next week when the Premier League finishes. So a lot of these players, like even if we get Havertz, these guys are done with their leagues for a while now. So they've already had their rest. So I have a feeling it's a switch from previous seasons where new signees take a while to get starts and get minutes.
Not if you're Bruno Fernandes.
Oh yeah.
Not if they needed you for 2 years already.
Well, actually, this is Bruno Fernandes' version of a slow start. He's going to really get into being a Premier League player next season.
Yeah,
that's a possibility.
You might have some of these players playing a more important role at the beginning of the season now, while the others have a little bit of a rest.
Right.
Could be good for maintaining team chemistry with the less of a break.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that we get like a advantage where we've already made these deals and we know these players are ours and these guys can already start training, get a couple of weeks ahead over the competition.
I like that about Chelsea. I liked it like when you did that with the Pulisic deal, what do you think about your buddy Hazard winning the La Liga, but he didn't really do nothing?
We just got 20 million of bonus money though because of it.
Oh shit!
I'm so happy.
He didn't do anything. But doesn't he have to play a certain amount of games? There's just a bonus if the team that he's injured on for all season wins the Champions League. Does Gareth Bale get that bonus too?
Yeah, Bale
just gets more pairs of golf cleats.
And that was weird. That was a weird celebration.
Yeah.
You see Gareth Bale was like in the background. He stood on the edge of the celebration, and then there's confetti. Everybody's happy and cheering each other, and then he's watching Zidane get thrown in. I feel bad for him.
It's like when you're a kid. You remember when you're a kid and your parents wanted to take you to some office party or something, and you didn't want to be there because you're like, okay, you know what? You want me there? I'm gonna make a point. I'm gonna make sure everybody notices that, and then you never invite me ever again. So.
But I don't even think he was doing that. He's just like in this awkward situation. Like he's on the team, he gets a La Liga medal, and it's like, hey guys, I did a bicycle in the Champions League final to break it open. Like I've contributed to this team before, and you just want me to give you money back, and if I don't, you freeze me out. And then it's like, what do you? It's like, I paid you back already. Mm-hmm. I paid you back from the moment I came to the club. Why do you not believe in me?
You're really defending this guy. Is Bale on the back of your jersey?
Nah. I mean, there's an open sponsorship spot on the back. So anybody,
perfect.
Any player that wants to pay to get their name on the back of this jersey.
Oh, maybe it's going to be Paul Pogba, you know? It's going to be Pogba, maybe.
I don't think Madrid got the money.
Yeah.
All that money they wasted on Hazard.
Apparently, there's a bonus if they win the Champions League too, another 20 million.
Yeah, but you don't want to give away. And you know how Madrid won this year? All defensive.
Yeah.
They had the stingiest defense in La Liga. I think they've changed their system.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sergio Ramos scored a lot of their goals.
I know. It's between Benzema and Sergio Ramos as their leading goal scorers.
Yeah, he's the second highest goal scorer. That's just crazy.
So crazy. Headers and penalties.
Penalties, yeah.
Yeah. So there it is.
Yeah, I think Hazard was pretty. He was pretty humble about it. He's like, yeah, I need to play better, but it's good that we won.
He should have been as awkward as Bale, at that ceremony. There's no reason for Hazard not to be standing next to Bale.
Just there with the cup, just huh?
I think apparently people saying that Hazard made sure he never took a picture of him holding the actual trophy.
Oh yeah, I don't think Bale held it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bale's. I feel bad for Bale, but he's rich. But you just can't be in a toxic workplace is rough. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't envy that.
Yeah, I don't envy that.
Even at $600K a week.
Yeah. What do you want me? I signed a contract. You saw The Last Dance. Scottie Pippen got ripped off. What do you want Bale to be? Scottie Pippen? You're mad that he's not Scottie Pippen?
No,
we're all learning.
Not you, but them.
Yeah.
And he's on the bench, and they're like, "Look, what is Gareth Bale doing on the bench?" It's what else is he supposed to do on the bench? This is a laughable matter. The only thing you could do to stay sane is just laugh.
Yeah. He's probably still their best right winger, though. I don't know why. It's just crazy. It's not down to football why he doesn't play.
Yeah. I mean, that's life. Anything you want to promote again, Stu, before you bounce?
Yeah, thanks again for having me, Ian. I had a really good time. The album is out Friday. It's called Dandy Man. It's my first album, and I'm very excited for people to get to listen to it. If they are hearing this before Friday, then they can get it on pre-order and on Apple Music, and that kind of helps me chart if they're interested in getting it a little bit sooner. But it'll be available everywhere on Friday, July 24th. Pandora, Spotify, Tidal, Amazon, and it's going to be, I'm really proud of this material. And if they want to hear more about stuff I'm doing, or if they, I'm at Stuart B. Thompson on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, and my website is stuartthompsoncomedy.com.
That's dope, man. Congrats on the album, everybody. Despite the fact that he's a Chelsea fan, go cop that. Neil, what you got?
Yeah, find it in your hearts.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations, Stuart. Yeah, I'm going to check it out.
Thank you.
Just follow me at Sawyer's Lawyer everywhere. Try and keep the same handle. And I hope this has been a good roller coaster of a month, football-wise. And I hope we kind of end with a trophy at the top 4. That'd be great.
Come on, Liverpool. Come on, Arteta.
See how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. As for me, check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Ian Edwards Comic. If you watching the podcast on YouTube, like and subscribe, leave a comment, I'll hit you back. And also go to my website, ianedwardscomedian.com, and you can access my comedy album that I did for Conan's label. It's called 100% Half-Ass, and it's like $5 if you want to go there and cop that. All right, so everybody be safe out there, be good, love each other, and love you, enjoy the soccer. And thank you, Aaron Brungardt, and we out.